Alrighty, what is up, guys? I am Jess. You are watching Keto Rewind. Thank you for clicking on today's video. I have a great video today about protein. Protein is your friend. Protein is on your side. And I just want to talk about that. And I have a delicious recipe for you that is a high protein dessert or snack or treat, whatever you want to call it. But I kid you not, it is a game changer. So what do you say we hop into today's video? Now, most importantly, I'm not a medical doctor, not a healthcare professional. This is just my story and my own opinions about what I think is the best way or what works best for me to have my fat loss journey complete. I have been on this journey for, over 4 years now, and I've lost a significant amount of weight, but I didn't learn everything I needed to learn to be able to keep the weight off once I lost it. So here we are. And now this approach I have for, I guess, my comeback or my round two is a lot more focused on the nutrition part of the component of it, which helps kind of like get more to the root of the problem, versus before my focuses were not where they should be prioritized. So what do I mean by that? Round one, I focused on carbs and fat. I stressed lost sleep, blood, sweat, and tears, all the things about the carbs and fats, watching those. Now, and that's because nutrition is literally 95% of your fat loss or weight loss journey. You cannot argue that. If you can't overcome a bad diet with workouts, you can't solve your problems with food. It's just it's so important to get the nutrition right to be able to make the rest of the stuff fall in place. If you can't fix your nutrition, you can't keep this weight off, you can't make it sustainable, you can't make it a lifestyle, you'll go back to your old ways, so if you're going to make the change, you've got to fix the nutrition. So, where I was not wrong with carbs and fats before being important, this time around I realized something more important than carbs and fat. See, in my opinion, carbs and fats are more like those friends that are they're really fun when it's going good, but they're also can be backstabbers, at the same time. Whereas protein is that loyal friend that will never let you down, doesn't play the games, is here for it, right? Where you have to keep your eye on carbs and fats. So that is like the analogy I use to help make this make sense. Because at the end of the day, if you are eating your protein and you're not having those hunger waves constantly making you think about food when you should just be satisfied and moving along, or that also keeping things, at a nice, stable, manageable level, keeping you more in control. So it's like the protein helps you lose fat because it helps you if you're hitting your protein goals, that is. You hold on to that lean mass, and it is so important. I complain about how fast my hair and my nails and everything's growing since I've increased my protein. But I've also noticed my body composition has changed a lot quicker this time around because I'm attacking fat. I'm not attacking weight. And then another thing, I was on a weight loss journey before. Well, now I don't care about the weight. I want to lose fat. So I'm on a fat loss journey now. So when I'm hitting my protein macros every day, which is a high protein diet or high protein keto, right now I'm aiming for about 140 to 150 grams of protein per day for my current, weight and goals. So that's a steep number. So and you can't really eat that amount of protein in a day unless you're trying, because if you just eyeball and wing stuff, it's hard to hit high protein levels. So that's why I say, if you're going to focus on anything, focus on that protein, because if you're full, you're not going to have those needs or urges to act upon it when your mind says, "Ooh, the sweets sound really good," or ice cream or a treat, or whatever temptation that you might want. If you're feeling full, you can say no easier. And that's been a game changer for me. So with that said, I have been focused a lot more on the protein aspect of my macros, and I've taken some of that focus away from stressing about carbs and fat. All carbs are not bad. I think processed carbs or high, just those high glycemic carbs, those are the ones I'm talking about. Those trigger me, those processed carbs are the downfall. They are the gateway for me to keep going and not being able to stop. So I find that as long as I stay away from those, I have success. I feel good, and it keeps this journey moving forward. When it comes to fats, same thing. Fats are really calorically dense, so they add up quick. You know, you want to make sure you're having the right fats, avoiding those seed oils and the super processed oils, and staying closer to the healthy fats that actually can help you, you know, that are part of this whole process. So it's like you just have to find that balance of what works for you. But most importantly, put that stress, if you're gonna put any stress on yourself, into hitting the protein. Get that protein in every day. So I am gonna go for a quick walk. This weather's kind of weird today, so I was able to squeeze in 30 minutes of reading, and I have 30 minutes left in my time I budget for rest in my morning, and I'm gonna go get that last 30 minutes in a walk, because I'm almost over this cold. I'm feeling good to just go for a walk. And yeah, so on that note, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Element Electrolytes. It's summer here in Texas, so I'm going to be sweating. Even though it's a half-hour walk, I'm only going to probably walk like 2 miles. I'm going to be sweating, so I got to stay hydrated. So the Element Electrolytes are my absolute favorite electrolytes. Each packet contains a science-backed ratio of electrolytes: 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. No gluten, no artificial flavors, no colors, no fillers. It's just a delicious addition to my drink. I will put 1 packet in a 32-ounce bottle of water, and I will just sip on this throughout my workout. And when this is all gone, I just fill it up with water for the rest of the day. So I'm getting about 2 or 3 of these in per day minimum. And then plus the regular drinks and stuff I have throughout the day. I personally like the watermelon flavor. I also like raspberry. The citrus is good. But don't take my word for it. I have a free sample pack containing all 8 unique flavors. This special link is only available through me, but you can use it as many times as you want. So go to drinkelement.com/keto rewind. That's drinklmnt.com/keto rewind, and get your free sample pack with any order. Thanks, Element, for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna go get that walk in, and I'll be back when it's time to make some cottage cheese ice cream. I promise it's gonna be good.
One eternity later.
All right, for this you're gonna want some type of food processor, a blender, something to smooth out the curd or like chunks. And this way, it's not, and you don't have to do this, but you'll have chunks in it won't be like smooth like ice cream is what I'm trying to say. So I like to just puree it. In this way, if I want to make up an individual serving, I will be able to do it that way. So I just wanted to show you, the ingredients do matter. Look at the back of your cottage cheese, and it should just have cultured skim milk, cream, salt. You know, this one's that plus some cultures. There's the, yeah, look at, that's what we have. There's no weird ingredients. You know, you can have this in 2%, 4%, you know, depending what your macros are. And then this one, I thought, oh, this one's going to be spreadable, so it won't have I won't have to put it through my food processor, but it still had like curds. They just were really small. So that's like maybe a happy medium. If you want the bigger chunks, you could go like this and skip this step altogether. But either way, these all have very minimal ingredients. So make sure you turn it over and you read what is in your cottage cheese. So that's step 1. These 3 brands are the ones I go from. It's depending on what my store has in stock. And then, so at this point, I'm going to put in an entire container of cottage cheese into my Vitamix food processor. And then I'm going to put it right back in here. This way, the step is done. It's creamy. It's, you know, it will completely be a lot easier to make and not have to whip this out every time. So I use so much cottage cheese with all these different recipes, and I need it smooth, so I just go ahead and do it for myself. So let's just pick this one since it's the biggest. Actually, this is a smaller container. Let's go for this one. So I'm gonna open this up, and in case you haven't seen cottage cheese before, I'll show you what it looks like before I put it in the food processor. I need 2 hands, hold on. So there's the before. You can see it's kind of chunky, a little watery, you know, not as appealing looking like this. So all I'm gonna do is take your food processor and I'm literally gonna dump it in here. I might need to get a spoon real quick and scrape the sides. And save the container. We're gonna put it right back in there. So this will literally take like 30 seconds. So to save you the noise, we're gonna do it real quick. Let me turn this on and, all right, let's take a look. And there you have a consistency more like a melted cream cheese. So let me dump this out and you can see. Okay, so at this point, I would just put this back in the fridge if I wanted to have that ready to go. However, I'm gonna make an entire container of ice cream. So I'm gonna put this back in and we're gonna make our ice cream. Pour that in there and we're gonna add our sweetener next and then our mix-ins. Okay, so in this container right here, there's 4 servings of cottage cheese. So I'm gonna make 4 servings of ice cream. So I like to do 2 tablespoons of sweetener per serving. So I'm gonna put 8 tablespoons. This is a 2 tablespoon measuring cup. In here, in my cottage cheese mixture, to sweeten it up. Now you can adjust that to your own personal taste. That's what I liked. But if you want more, add more. Just that's the easy part of this recipe is you can sweeten it to your desire. So we have 1. And again, any sweetener will do. It does not have to be BochaSweet. This one's a little pricier, but it's the best. There's 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is all I'm gonna do is put my lid back on and mix this up. And then once we are in the last step, I'll put the peanut butter in here and mix it manually because I don't want the peanut butter to be flavoring the ice cream. I want it to be the mix-in, so you see the swirls of peanut butter throughout. So let's get this mixed up real quick. I mean, that's really all it was to mix it. And our last step is I'm gonna add the peanut butter in. I'm gonna do a tablespoon of peanut butter per serving, so I need 4 tablespoons of peanut butter. Any peanut butter will do, just make sure it is a sugar-free peanut butter. I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons in here, mix it, and then have the last 2 tablespoons in here just as the swirly effect. So let me put this in here. Quick blend. And that's all there is to it. So now, I'm gonna pour it back into here. And oh my goodness, it's so tasty. I promise you this will be a game changer. And I bet the person that really hates cottage cheese would eat this. I'm telling you, I'm not a huge cottage cheese fan, but I've become one. Because you just gotta get creative. So there you have it. Let me get the different camera angle on you. And then we're gonna take the last 2 tablespoons and put them in here gently. And I'm just gonna mix it around so that it's swirled through there. I don't want it to be blended, I want it to be swirled. I probably should have used a bigger bowl to mix it in and just use this one to store it. But just so you know what I'm doing. And then once it's fairly mixed in, remember I want it to be like swirled in there. I don't want it to be, I want just like it would be like a swirly ice cream. And once I've got to a point where I like it, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of chocolate chips per serving. Looks like I need to get a different container. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna resume putting this in here and then we're gonna pop it in the freezer. And there you have it. So I'm gonna give this a last little mix and then I'll be back in about 2 hours or so to show you how delicious this ice cream is. I'm gonna scrape down the sides so it all stays together and putting this into a freezer. And here is my lunch for today. We have sliced turkey, and a salad with a little olive oil and balsamic drizzled, and some cheese. And that is lunch today. 6 ounces of turkey, 1 ounce of American cheese, and then lettuce. And here you have the finished product. Looks just like ice cream. Most of my chocolate chips went down to the bottom in the container, but I'm going to put this back in the freezer. I've also had this where it has not been frozen. It's kind of just really cold. Tastes just as good that way. But here is the texture. And it's identical to ice cream, nice and smooth. And yummo. Super yummy. All right, and I bet you're wondering what the macros are for the high protein cottage cheese ice cream. Now, the macros are going to greatly depend on what mix-ins you put in. So peanut butter was a little higher in fat. I could cut that down more by using PB2 or peanut butter powder. But this is how I made it, so I thought we'd go over it. And so I put 2 cups total of cottage cheese, 8 tablespoons of BochaSweet sweetener or keto sweetener. I have my 4 servings or 1 tablespoon per serving of peanut butter and 4 tablespoons total of chocolate chips. So that's what gave me my macros. So each serving was 7 grams of net carb, 17 grams of protein, 15 grams of fat, and 245 calories. So mix and match. The mix-ins that you could put in here are endless. So make it fit and experiment with it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, use that link down below. If you want that free sample pack with any order of electrolytes, use my special link down below. I'll see you at the next one.